Eric Oakley, and Tyler Sherrock.
Yeah. So you're right. The Euros are showing out, especially on their home turf.
Tyler's down there in Maria Oliva land, if you ask me.
I don't even know who that is.
She's that chick that left her bag.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Players Meeting powered by the ACDGC and the KDGA. I'm your host, Lucas Deal, and this is episode number 64. This week, we're heading across the pond to break down all of the action from the Ale Open. Boy, oh boy, it did not disappoint. Both the FPO and MPO divisions came down to the wire on a fantastic European course. Then we look ahead to the next big stop on the DGPT, the Preserve. Smitty and I are going to make our weekly picks, and things are heating up. Plus, we have the Survivor League, and we're down to just 10 players. We'll reveal those picks today, and who's still in the hunt for Disc Golf Glory. This is the Players Meeting, where scorecards end and opinions begin. And if you have not, please subscribe to the Disc and Deals Coverage YouTube channel. That's where you can catch all of these amazing podcasts. Hit that bell for notifications so you never miss a single episode. But without further ado, let's bring in the real star of the show, the one-time world champ, Chris Smith, a.k.a. Smitty. What up, my dude?
What's going on, man?
Ooh, I am excited to talk some disc golf. This was some amazing stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch it live because, as you know, it was very early in the morning.
Yes, sir. I caught very little of the women's. I did catch the important part of the final round and sat in my garage and watched all of the men's.
That's amazing. Well, did you get into any disc golf action this weekend?
I don't even remember, to tell you the truth. I think that I played somewhere.
Yeah, it was a busy weekend for us. Me and the DDC crew went down to Kansas City and we recorded the Kansas City Flying Disc Challenge, and some really good disc golf happened. It was really fun. Can't wait to get that out for everyone. And I want to always shout out my boys, Brandon Knopf, Sean Ayton. They do such an amazing job helping me out. And we found some new things to do with the coverage, and I'm really excited to see how it looks when we edit this up.
Did you eat at LC's barbecue?
No, but we did have a different barbecue. It was called Slaps. You ever heard of it? I never heard of it. And I'm telling you, Smitty, it did in fact slap. It was really good, man. I mean, this place, Slap actually stands for Squeal Like a Pig barbecue, but it was some of the best I've had. And I've had a lot of that Kansas City barbecue because I used to live in that area, and I never had that one.
Did you feel like you were going to die?
Because I ate so much?
No, when you went there to eat.
After or before?
As you were walking in, did you feel like somebody was going to shoot you?
No. So you're saying it's not good enough?
Not good enough. Yakes, LC, both of those. You see some weird stuff.
Yeah.
LC's is woo.
I'll have to try that one. I have not. We did have Arthur Bryant's as well. We went with Shane.
Fancy pants.
It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. Actually, I really didn't like it. But yeah, we could barbecue talk all day. I could food talk all day. We're actually thinking about doing a disc and deals, drive-ins, and dives. Yeah.
I'm out on that. It's all you.
Okay. All right. Well, if you ever want to watch it, tune in. There's going to be us eating some food on the road. But all right, man, let's get into some of the disc golf action we had this weekend, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start where we always start. What's popping? What's been happening around the world of disc golf? And as we know, Smitty, where were we this weekend?
The Ale Open. Pretty good little logo there.
Very cool.
Yep. And the course was fantastic. This is you can see hole one here in the background. That thing they threw right underneath that sucker. So it was awesome. And I'll say a couple of things here before we talk about it. Number one, I think Euro disc golf is more fun to watch than American disc golf swing that we're about to get into. This was exciting. It was shot shaping at its finest. The Euros are not far behind. They are making up ground on us. Granted, we didn't have all of the big dogs there, but we had a big dog and some former kind of big dogs. And finally, we do a better job of coverage than they do. They had some wacky camera stuff going on.
Yeah, their camera work.
When they would shoot to the on grounds, Andrew Gum, I think 3 or 4 times his microphone was just out of whack. He was like talking twice as fast as it was coming out twice as fast what he was talking, I believe. So yeah, but it was the disc golf outweighed the problems for sure. So let's start with the ladies.
Yeah, well, before we do, I just want to say I want to touch on one thing on that course. Me and Brandon now we're talking about this, but those raised beams of wood to mark OB, like especially like on hole one, I just think that is the coolest touch ever. And I wish we'd see that more here in America.
Yeah, they would just look like telephone poles or old logs laying out there, marking the fairway. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And the other thing that was interesting was there's no line or no string between the OB sticks.
Yeah.
They just eyeball it and go with the call there. I wonder, I think back to Adam Hammis on the hole 18 at Waco. If that was just 2 stakes out there, eyeball it, call it good, call it bad, and we don't have all the controversy.
Yeah. Or, all the time. When Simon got caught in that string because that guy got stuck and he went OB, that's another one.
Mm-hmm. True story. Yeah. So yeah, this was pretty much a 2-woman show. Mm-hmm. And it started out the final round. I mean, it was 1 stroke between the two going into the final round, and it looked like it was going to be the same old story where Kristen just goes out and dominates. She birdied the second hole to extend her lead, and they both birdied the third. She gave one up and got one back, and she was 2 up, and then hole 6 happened.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, Kristen missed that island all 3 rounds, which is shocking to me. But then the way that she played from the drop zone was really surprising to me. I feel like she was trying to make that putt, but yet give herself an easy comeback if she missed. It wasn't a normal committed bang it in there putt. She paid the price too. She hit that tree, bounced down, rolled right into the back into the OB, and Silva got the luckiest break of all time for her. Shank off of a tree into a park job.
Yeah.
So, did you get to see the final 4 holes or 5 holes?
I watched all of it. Yeah. So I've watched the recap. So I've seen exactly how this shakes out. But for those of you that may not have heard, you can still break this down, Smitty.
Yeah, hole 14, Kristen threw a fantastic drive, and Silva hit an early tree and was just toast. And it was looking like Kristen was going to take a 2-stroke swing on her for sure. There was no doubt in my mind that's about what was about to happen. Mm-hmm. Silva got in there, and if you remember back to Music City, she got a little greedy one time when she was out of position, and it cost her. Probably cost her the win at Music City. But she threw it out there to about 35 feet and banged a putt.
Dude, it was a big putt. Yeah, it was definitely outside circle. Yeah, and no doubter.
Yeah, it was. Let's see, how long was it? It was 32 foot, so edge of the circle, uphill. Well, I mean it
was uphill. I think that's stat guy
there, but Yeah, and I'm thinking she makes that. I'm thinking, okay, so Kristen's only going to get one. Boy, was I wrong. Airball City, right? And then missed the comeback. She ended up losing 2 strokes. So she kind of reversed roles on Silva to what we're used to seeing. And then they both birdied hole 15. Hole 16, you can see here in the graphic that Kristen got another bogey. And just that was it. Game over.
Mm-hmm. All Silva had to do was get in the island on 18 on that second throw. She was able to lay up and take the victory.
Yeah. So just a 2-woman race, ran off and left everybody. And, this, I think, probably is going to bode pretty well for Silva's confidence moving forward going into, Worlds it's just around the corner, really.
It is. And she plays extremely well in Europe. We know her swing when she won so many last year, so many in a row, and this has to bode well for her. What did you think about Kristen shaking her to show some type of an emotion after? Because Silva did seem a little bit in shock.
You mean that?
Yeah.
I think it's incredible that Kristen, the greatest woman we've probably ever seen. Look how happy she is for Silva at this point. And you're right, Silva couldn't believe she won. And I think she's just too reserved to let her emotions hang out. And I think Kristen was probably saying, girl, this is your time to shine. Do it. Show everybody what you got. So,
yeah, I thought it was really cool of Kristen. And because Kristen knows Silva's been on the other side of this far too many times, and she got it. And it was time for her to celebrate. So,
yes, sir.
That was cool.
And this other little gal here is the other story of the weekend. I don't know if you saw anything about her. That's Julia Force, 13 years old. Look how little she is.
She's tiny.
Shot a nearly 1,000 rated first round. And that wasn't it. She wasn't done. She ended up, I'm pretty sure she was top 5. She ended up 8th place.
Yeah, I think the last round got her, but she played really good disc golf all weekend, man. It was so cool to see. She was lead card at least one of the rounds, right?
I'd only watched the last half of the final round, so I couldn't say. I can look. After round 2, she was out of the top. Yeah, she would have played lead card second round.
Okay, I thought so.
So
pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, another Swede Euro getting up there, going to be probably a force to reckon with, taking all that U.S. easy money from us for the next 20 years.
Yeah, so. I also noticed that Heide Lane has the sister. Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah, so I think her name's Sonia. And so something's happened with Heide where she was on crutches. So she's got a really, really bad knee that's continuing to be bad. But she was trying to caddy for her sister with crutches. I'm like, that's kind of cool, but you should probably just chill.
And you're sure they're sisters? You Googled it?
Well, on this one, they said it on coverage. So
okay. All right.
That's fair.
I noticed she cut out all the Katrina Allen, Jennifer Allen's sister top in the last file.
Yeah, what? Yeah. We can blame Knopf on that one.
All right. You can blame whoever you want, but you're the one that was so bound and determined to tell me that's what was up. Let's go men, though. Woo! What a show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you watch the highlights of this at least, or watch the round?
Got to see how this do. Yep.
Yeah, dude, this was a battle. About 5 holes into it, I thought, yep, this is over. Rick bombed the first one, but was OB, saved a 4, and then carded 5 birdies in a row, which in that time little Nick carded 3, so he wasn't going anywhere. But I'm thinking, man, Rick's got this under control.
Yeah.
There's
He had 2 going in, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way little Nick even has a chance. Ricky is in the zone. He's feeling it. But, we came along to a hole 9.
Yeah, what a green, man. What a green.
Yeah, I'd like to see how sloped that is in person.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you were just at Waterworks. You probably caught some rollaways, I'm assuming.
Surprisingly not as many as you would expect, but I will say, to kind of carry on to your first point, cameras never show that elevation properly. And I bet that green there is treacherous, and we saw how treacherous it was.
I saw 3 or 4 people roll down that thing.
Yeah.
Off of missed putts. So.
All he needed to do is what Daniel Davidson did.
Well, it wasn't just Daniel Davidson that did that. Vinyl Makala did the same thing.
Did he?
Hit it, rolled way down the hill, and then canned it from nearly the same spot. That D2 is what I refer to Daniel as.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah. That guy was really good too, minus putting. Yeah. He could really, really throw the disc well. But, Rick gave up 3 strokes on hole 9 and then birdied hole 10. I'm thinking, he's just mad. He's just going to blank it out from here.
Yeah.
Little Nick has no chance. Boy, was I wrong. So, and then coming into hole 18, that thing couldn't have played out any better for Nicholas than how it did.
Yeah.
He slightly outdrove Rick off the tee. So Rick
has to try to put it in.
Rick was for sure. Nicholas was getting up and down, so we tried to put it in, blew it way past, but still Ricky range.
But still safe, right, as well.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, okay, little Nick throws this on, lays up, game over. And, man, that shot had 0 chance the entire time. So low, and banged it into the side of the island, which I like the way that plays as hazard over OB. That's, same thing we have at Millbrook. And there must be a line. I get, because Nick was right up on the line. He was almost in the hazard off the tee. So, if Rick makes that putt, Nicholas still has a chance to win by making it. Oh, I was for sure Rick was going to make it right on line, top band out.
Did not leave it short.
Game over.
Yeah, so, great battle though, and Rick put it. You're right. The way that it played out, Rick had to go first on all of those, and so little Nick got the advantage of seeing what Rick did. But I was for sure that putt was in too. I mean, that had some heat. Rick was not going to miss short, and he didn't. And, man, what a good tournament, though.
Yep, sure was for most people. I can show you a few that it wasn't a good tournament for. USA. Right? Yeah. KJ USA was our second best finisher at T16. 3 or 4 years ago, if an American went over and finished T16, we would think, what is wrong with this? Terrible round. But these Euros are not chumps anymore, man. These guys are bringing it. Matt Bell, T19. Eli Swanson, who I'm not familiar with, but he's been over there for a while.
He was on some Go Throw stuff in Australia. That's the only reason I know him.
Ezra, this dude is chalking up some frequent flyer miles, dude.
No doubt.
I mean, they're back. Wow. Whew, he must like airports. And then we got Raven Newsom. Sean's pick, worst pick of all time. James Conrad, Eric Oakley, and Tyler Sherrock.
Yeah. So you're right. The Euros are showing out, especially on their home turf.
Tyler's down there in Maria Oliva land, if you ask me.
I don't even know who that is.
She's that chick that left her bag.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. My goal is to bring her up on every pod from here to the end. Until she comes on, then I'll stop. All right.
Oh man.
So yeah, dude, that was fun disc golf for sure. I think this weekend's going to be fantastic for a whole just host of different reasons. I think we'll have a close tournament. I think we're going to see some fantastic disc golf again, and I cannot wait.
I do. Well, let's talk about this tournament coming up.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to be a little busy and miss most of it probably.
Yeah, Duda is happening this weekend. So I know I'm recording. You're playing.
I might not play.
Oh, well.
Only 3 people in my division.
Well, at least you got 3 now. You only had 1 for the longest time.
JD's dropping out. He told me to go. He's going to go play somewhere else. Courses are hard.
Yeah.
They're really hard. I'm going to have a lot of 125 to 180 foot up shots all weekend long.
For par?
These guys are going to be putting.
Yeah.
So if I have to go open, it's going to be really hard for me, but we'll see. Mama didn't raise no chump.
All right, we'll see.
What are you still doing on there? USA.
Yeah, so let's look at this course we got coming up. We know the preserve, but there have been a few changes this year. So maybe you want to talk about some of those?
Yeah, let's look at them. I got them laid out here. Basically, you watch Simon's blog just like I do, and Simon said if he was going to have his name attached to it, he wanted to have his touch added to the course. So a little bit different than what I thought we might see from Simon's the changes Simon would make to a course. I was a little shocked at some of them. So the first major one is hole 5's gone, which I don't remember hole 5. Looks like it was 275 feet straight shot for these guys, Cupcake City probably. And old hole 6 becomes 5. So we just lost a hole there right off the beginning. So, and there was no change to what was old hole 6. And then this is a change. You can see new hole 7 on the right, which used to be hole 8. It's the same hole, but you can see the changes that Simon added to it. Do you see the big difference?
Yeah, absolutely. So they made an island green, and now you have to go to the left side of the green, and then you're going to have a shot that's distance control going into that green.
Yeah. Last year, these guys all just bombed out to the right.
Yep, exactly.
And played it. So I'm assuming at 830 feet, that's probably 600 and some to that island. I don't think anybody's probably gunning for that from the tee.
No.
But I do think we're going to get a lot of interesting second shots because there's not a lot of room behind that thing.
Exactly. And I guess I haven't seen this play out yet. Have you seen this hole in action yet?
No, not any changes.
Yeah, because I don't know. You can see some trees there on the near side, and I wonder, are they going to have to go over? Are they going through? And that's, I think, going to be something that I really want to try to see if that's going to make that harder or easier.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a fun change. It was
I like this.
Probably a super easy birdie for them before. Throw hard, and go past as far as you want with no scary business. So this should be a good change. Okay. And then holes 9 and holes 10 both new holes. I couldn't find the hole 9 anywhere in last year's caddy book. So, that's kind of big Anheuser roller, I'm guessing, for these guys.
Yeah.
But hole 10 looks interesting on paper. I'm really interested to catch some practice videos the next couple of days before the tournament starts, just to see how it plays. I like the idea of
a pinch point.
Pinch point right there, where these guys are going to have to throw. They're going to have to decide how much do they want to bite off on the first throw. And it's narrowing. The farther they go, the skinnier that gets.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's hard to tell exactly how wide it is there at that little bridge or whatever that is. But
yeah,
it's going to be cool.
Yeah,
Bunker
I like
right
this.
front.
Yeah, and I'm guessing the bunker is a hazard. Does it say?
Yeah, I can't tell.
No, it didn't say anything about that. So it might just play as just safe. But yeah, fun change for sure. I hope it plays like we expect it to.
Yeah, I think it will. And then this is one that really surprised me, because Simon isn't really a huge fan of artificial OB, and this has it lining both sides of the fairway
entire way. Yeah.
So, but I'm guessing that's going to be ample room to land a disc there short of that little bridge. So that'll be cool to check out over the next couple of days. And then this was the next change I saw, and I thought, pretty cool, man. Let's see how it plays out this week. Mm-hmm. Right. So the first thing is, you can't just throw it anywhere you want and end up in the woods. You got to stay out of the woods. OB line both sides. And then I don't know, that forced carry doesn't seem very far, but it's probably forcing them to make a decision. Layup way short,
off the tee
over it.
Yeah. So, and I think it's just more so. I don't mind artificial OB like this. I think it's really good to have a shot that you need to make. You have options on how you make that shot, but you have to hit it in a specific landing area. And I like landing zones. It's where you're actually playing golf and not just throwing it as hard as you freaking can.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep. So I'm excited to see how this one plays out. It looks super cool on paper again. Whoops. So then that would be it for the changes that I was able to find on the course. So I couldn't find anything, I expected a lot more tricky short holes and just monster bombs, but
yeah, he's a different type of course designer than I would expect too. So maybe some of the things that he dislikes as a player, he's making it so everyone can dislike it together.
We'll see. I can't wait. Yep, I can't wait. So should be good. I'm guessing that Ezra probably will have a practice video. I'm sure Rick has one coming out this week.
Yeah. Well,
maybe out now. I've been busy all day, so I haven't really had a chance to
look. I haven't looked either. But, Smitty, we got a new tournament, and you know what that usually entails?
No, tell me. I forgot.
Yeah, it's this little segment we like to do called Dun 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 Weekly Picks. And Smitty,
you stopped me.
The last 2 weeks, I've gotten victories, and this is new territory for me. I don't know how to behave. I'm not really the greatest trash talker because I never win, so I don't know how to do this. So I'm just going to do with this humbly, and I'm just going to jump into this, Smitty, and we're going to start right at a sleeper. Okay? Because I want to make sure you don't get my guy. Because you are the type of person that is not a chump. I hear this a lot. And so typically, if I choose someone, you do not choose the same person. I don't know if we have the same one this week, but this was a gentleman that I got to record this weekend, and he's playing at an extremely high level. He looked good. he's played this particular course. Of course, it's a little bit different this year, but he's played this course extremely well the last 2 years. And if there's anyone in the world that can hit a landing zone pretty darn well, it's this guy. I'm going with the Missouri native, Andrew Presnell.
Mm. What's his average finish on Disc Golf Pro Tour this year?
I did not look that up. So as you're giving yours, I'll look that up.
Well, let me look because I'm already there.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I thought it was. Let's see, Mr. Presnell.
I'm hoping it's somewhere in the upper 20s.
33rd.
Even better. That's a great pick, as long as he does what I know he can do.
Yeah, it won't matter.
Oh, because why?
So I did my homework this week.
Okay, tell me.
And you didn't steal my pick like you did last week. So the guy I picked averaging 50th on the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Okay. This is definitely a deep sleep. I like this.
Yeah, let me double, triple check that. I'm pretty positive I didn't click any wrong buttons. I did not.
Okay.
So 50th place average finish. Got 19th this event last year.
Okay.
Throw the Country Mile.
Okay.
Has a new sponsor.
All right.
Has a pretty nice mullet and a little shady mustache. Mr. Gavin Rathbun.
Okay. I like it.
I think he can do some damage. I'm wondering if he might be a little bit injured though or something.
Yeah, he's not playing as well as I would have thought he would have.
He's grown prodigy.
That might be true, but there's some other players that played on Prodigy that still shot pretty dang well with those discs.
Gannonburg.
Yeah, Isaac Robinson, Ezra.
Gannonburg could play pretty good with a hubcap.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, Isaac Robinson, he's doing all right. He did win a major with his new sponsor, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So my pick.
Yeah, your pick. Shine or stink?
Shine.
All right.
K2, baby.
Okay, just right into it. K2.
Yeah. K2. Reason being, he's been in the mix every time this year. Last year, he got second at this event. 2 years ago, he got 119th. Good. And 3 years ago, he got third. So.
Yeah, another one that super solid, hitting landing zones, good distance, good putter. Great picks, Smitty. Can't go wrong there. And he's not like one of those upper echelon guys that we could choose every week. So
yes, he is.
I mean,
So
he's the same thing that I had Vinny last week. I think he's in that same level. He's like the step below. So
he might be a step above Vinny, actually.
Yeah, they're close. To be fair, I'm not far out of there, and I'm probably in the upper echelon area. But I feel bad for this dude. He had a terrible week, a terrible last hole, the last time he played. And I think he has an astounding bounce back this week. I think he has something to prove. So we're going to go AB on this track.
Well, you can never go wrong with Anthony. It's kind of weird to have him go from your stink to your shine, but
I think there's something about losing that can really make you work harder. And especially the way he lost. You know what I mean? I just think everyone knows that was the talk of the disc golf world. And I think he has something to prove. And that's why I'm doing the complete 180.
Okay.
And I like him because I only picked him as a stink just because of the performances he had the year before. It was hard to root against the guy, right? So I'd rather be in this position and root for him.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
would like to root for him too. He's one of my dudes.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of one of your dudes, that's going to be my stink pick of the week. Because I am terrible at stinks. This is my worst category. And it's because I try to get these upper echelon guys that are going to falter. And I hope they falter. But this is one that you would hate to root against. He's your dude. He is the greatest player of all time. Paul Macbeth is going to struggle at the preserve. That's my stink, averaging 5th place.
You are an idiot. He's not even going to the tournament.
He's not?
No.
Oh, that's why he's struggling. He's not even gonna finish.
Yeah, I'm gonna
All right.
start.
Well, then I gotta freaking look at someone else.
Idiot.
I'm the dumbest.
So while you're looking for a replacement for the greatest player of all time, because he's not playing the event and you don't pay attention to disc golf, apparently, I'll go ahead and tell you that my stink is going to be Evan Smith.
Okay.
Reason being, Evan Smith's having a great year, and nobody really knows it. He's averaging 14th place, which is really dang good. Last year, he finished 19th at this tournament. 2 years ago, he finished 25th. He's just kind of like Kyle Klein. He's just quiet and good.
Well, Smitty, this is your stink.
I know. I think he's going to get worse than 14th place because there's a lot of guys that are good and not quiet.
Yeah, you're right. And I did have someone else I was already thinking about. So we're going to move into him. So same company, not the same player. This guy finished pretty low last year, Smitty, 56th. He's averaging 17th this year. And you know what? This is going to be a good battle between us. Austin Turner is going to struggle with this course. And that was a great, quick pick. Gosh, you should have just made me have to keep Paul. So thank you for not making that happen. But Austin Turner going to have a bad week.
Well, I hope for your sake he plays. He's also battling injury.
Oh, God, I didn't look at the registration.
He's on there.
Okay, all right.
He's on it. I looked, but he just caddied for AB at the last tournament because he couldn't play. So then OTB or whatever we watched, Northwest Disc Golf thing, wasn't OTB. But yeah, that's why he wasn't playing, is because he was injured. So if he doesn't finish, Lucas, you lose.
Absolutely. If he doesn't play, I also lose because that was 2 strikes and I don't get a third.
No, I think he'll play. I think he'll start, but we'll see how he does.
Let's just be safe, Austin. Just throw down the middle. Don't do too much. Take your bogeys. Just get out of there.
You won't do that.
All right. Well, cool. I think those are going to be some good battles this week.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me choose someone else. That was kind of you.
But I am kind guy.
So that's exactly what I think when I think of Smitty Smith Jr. All right. So, Smitty, guess what? We had some survivors this week.
Yeah, buddy.
We had some picks, and I'm dying to show you. All right, Smitty. So we are down to 10 people in Survivor League. And 2 of those 10, that's us, baby.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Yeah, so here we go. Here's who we chose this week. I went AB to match my shine, and you went A2 to match yours. So we matched them.
Sir. And we know why, because K2, second, 119th, third.
Yep. And here we go, Smitty. Let's see who these other peeps got.
Couple of people clicked my dude, huh?
Yeah, 2 people went with K2, Tyson, and Brett. Ryan still had Gannon on the table, so he definitely picked him up. Patsy still had Rick on the table. But this bottom row, Smitty, do we have anyone that could potentially be on the hot seat?
Well, Calvin's going to be top 15. I actually had Calvin until 2 minutes before the show and switched to K2. So I think Calvin's a good pick. Always a good pick. Probably my pick next week. I think Simon could be a good pick, or he could be a not great pick. He'll never be close to making 15th. He'll either be well in 15 or way out of it.
Yeah. It's a little frightening, isn't it?
Not for me.
So Schmidt, Daniel G.
OG Danny G, right?
Nope, this is Danny G. Newton Danny G.
Oh, yeah, you told me that before.
All right, so Smitty.
I'm going to look at Lazat's history there.
Okay, let's take a look.
What did he get last year to preserve? 14th. 2 years ago. 17th.
All right, and he made the changes to the course. So,
3 years ago. Didn't play.
All right. Well, there we go, Smitty.
Yeah, we'll probably have all 10 people back.
We'll find out.
I just hope Kyle comes through, buddy.
Yeah,
Don't sting me, kid.
And I'm the only one that has AB. I don't think I should be worried, but I don't know. We'll just see what happens.
I wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be worried about that cat on any course.
All right. Well, do we have anything else going on?
Yeah, we do. One last thing.
Sure.
Let's get rid of these ugly mugs. Welcome to Big Deal, the segment of the show where Smitty takes a deep dive into things that everybody's talking about, whether they deserve the hype and truly are a big deal, or are just a total overblown, big deal, bro. Get ready for some hot takes, grumpy commentary, and a little bit of drama. Because in this segment, we'll decide whether it's a big deal.
All right, Smitty. We're going to talk about James Collier. There seems to be a little bit of talk of the disc golf world. So this gentleman just won the United States Amateur Disc Golf Championship. All right? Great player. He's an amateur. But, Smitty, people are calling him out because this guy has played 17 tournaments this year. All of those tournaments have been an MPO. Not only has he played, but he's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. He's 999 rated. Smitty, is it a big deal that he is still classified as an amateur and that he won? Or should there be some type of amateur cap? This is not new news. This has happened a lot of times. But tell me your thoughts on this.
Well, I think that, and I did this when I was trying to win an AM Worlds title back in 2003. I played open at all events that weren't PDGA. So all across Kansas, I played open, mainly because I wanted better competition and to better prepare myself for the AM Worlds. In James's case here, without knowing any of these tournaments, really, I'm seeing flexing down. I'm guessing those are just one round flex start C tiers. So I think how much cash this dude has turned down in this year as well. I see nothing wrong with what James has done here. He is chasing his dream of winning a AM Nats title. my guess is he might even be playing AM Worlds if you've looked at that. And we have kids here in Kansas doing the same exact thing. JoJo has played pro every event he's played this year, turned down cash so that he can take a stab at a junior worlds. Somebody else, Bennett is doing the same thing. So, I mean, if they want to go and play these tournaments and take plastic in lieu of cash, I bet you all of the advanced players are happy. I mean, the only thing that I see people getting mad at if this guy comes in and stomps mud hole in some pros. But yeah, I think he's well within his rights to do this. I see nothing wrong with it. Now, I mean, he's rated 1,000 basically, 999. Mm-hmm. Probably go up. What did he average here at the AM Nationals? He averaged, let's see, view hole scores. He averaged 1023 for the event.
Yeah, so he's gonna jump into the 1,000 club.
This dude killed it the last round too, man. He had a ton of birdies and then a 6 on hole 18. So
yeah, I'm with you.
You know what though? Let's back up a second. So, wow. Let's look at this guy who got second here, and then we'll let you give your point. Brock Tennyson, who's 978 rated, which is probably a more appropriate AM rating. He got beat by James by 1 stroke. He took a 5 on 18, and James took a 6. So James didn't just run off with this, man. This sounds like it looks like it might have been a little bit of a battle. So yeah. But to me, is it a big deal? Nah, this is big deal, bro.
Yeah, I'm exactly with you. Right? This happens all of the time. People on the internet are acting like this is the first time anything like this has ever happened. This is disc golf. I mean, this dude is turning down so much cash. And you said that the AMs are happy. You know what? The pros are happy too. Some other pros are probably going to get paid that may have not got paid. That's what happened at Star City when Bennett didn't take cash. It trickled down to some other players that were outside of cash. So I'm just saying.
Well, it shouldn't have. Well, Bennett can take plastic instead of cash, and then the TDs.
But if they say no, because they have the right to say no at those A tiers, right?
Yeah, if you're a jerk, I guess. I don't know if they have the right to say no.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, but I heard some money trickled down. So whatever the case may be, I don't think it's a big deal for James. I'm happy for James because this is what he wanted to have happen. And you were right, Smitty. He is set to play Amateur Worlds in August. So another dream for him.
And I'm going to look and see if he played. See, this dude played pro all last year as well and got 5th at Amateur Disc Golf Championships. Didn't play Worlds. He played.
Oh my God! Yeah, I see it, Smitty.
43 events last year, 42 of them in pro.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't even go back further.
In 2023, he played once again a lot of events in pro. He played 17 events in pro and 1 in AM, and that was Junior World Championships. Okay, so now that we've done a little bit more research on James, what are you thinking?
So he's basically done this now since 2022, where he played 6 open tournaments, was when he started his open, and still has refused to accept cash on all of those. 43 plus 18 tournaments, and he's only playing 1 AM tournament a year, and it's the either Worlds or, this one was the Amateur Disc Golf Championship, also with Worlds this year.
He played 7 of them in 2021 in Open.
Oh, So does
Been a
that change
PDJ
your
member
opinion?
since 2020.
Does that change your opinion?
No, not one bit. But yeah, no, maybe he's just once he accepts cash, he can't play things like Am Nats and he can't play things like Am Worlds. And those are fun events, man. If you're playing them and if you're in, competition for the win, I bet it's fantastic and awesome. But at the same time, it might be time, Jamesy boy, to start looking at moving on.
Yeah, I think now that he's got the victory, at least in one of them, the fact that this happened, I think it's time.
Yeah, if people are razzing this dude or complaining about him, get over yourself, man. Let this be a dude.
Yeah, I always think it's funny how many people are like just on this guy. They don't even know him. They don't know his situation. It doesn't affect them at all. But this seemed to be, I mean, we're talking a lot of comments on this, like over 400 comments of people just going back and forth. So I thought we'd talk a little bit about it. But I'm on the same page as you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there. I assume that since he's won one of the two, I'm guessing that he'll go full-time pro and he'll probably just disappear into the neverness of professional disc golf. There's $9.99 isn't going to cut it.
No.
On the big tour.
But
as you saw this weekend, you had a bunch of barely over 1,000, right around 999 players, and they played the same track at the KC White Open and it kicked the crap out of them.
Yeah. I will say, I think the wind was up a little bit more. I wish the wind would have been up for the pro guys. Like when Gannon shot that 14 down at Bedrock, I wonder if he would have done that same thing in the wind. But
he wouldn't have shot 8 up. I saw 3 or 4, maybe 5 scores that were par or better.
Oh, Smitty, I only think there was 2 people under par for the tournament or for that course. Only 2.
Yeah. That's a hard course, man.
It is. It's a great course, though, man. It's definitely championship level. I really like it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
But all right, dude. We made it. Any shout outs for you for the week?
Yeah, I got a lot of them this week.
All right, bring it on.
I've been busy all week working out at both Oak Park and Herman Hill, trying to get things ready for the Doodah because both parks look worse than I've ever seen them in the last 15 years that I've frequented them.
Was it the storm that came through?
Partially the storm, partially neglect by us as a group. I don't know who takes care of Herman Hill. I don't know who's put that under their wing and calling it their baby. I know that we used to have Nick Hunt at Oak Park. I think Nick's no longer as frequent at Oak Park as he was. I think maybe he's playing disc golf somewhere else. I'm not sure, but yeah, they both look pretty bad. So I got to give it up to a lot of people who have come out and helped me or went out on their own. First of all, I got to say Anthony and Hi, 2 different times went out there with shovels to try to move this sand that was coming down the stupid dune on 18. And I worked for an hour and a half and made very little progress. And then Anthony came back the next day and worked and made about the same amount of progress. And then today, some real studs, some real badasses came in with a skid steer and moved all of the sand that the city should have probably taken care of a long time ago. Aaron Noel, Chance Branscombe, Jason Zimmerman, all got out there and took care of that. So that's fantastic. Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Scott Dyer spent 4 hours out there today cleaning things up, trying to get it ready. Knopper was playing a practice round at Oak Park today when I showed up I was going to play a practice round and pull some branches off, and we ended up pulling a lot of branches to the edge of the road. A lot, like all the big ones that were in the fairways are now gone. We used the tiniest flipping electric pole saw in the world and chopped down a dead tree on hole 1 that was way bigger than this pole saw was designed to take care of. Brandon got my saw stuck in the tree like 5 times. Actually, it was me that was getting it stuck and yelling at Brandon. So, yeah, so all those guys for coming out there and, taking pride in what we have here in Wichita, which I think is some of the best disc golf in Kansas. And people just don't know it and take it for granted. But then a guy who isn't from Wichita, who I got to give huge props to, my man, Kevin Babbitt. This dude is on a tear. Kicked the crud out of him in Nebraska 2 weeks ago. Kicked the crud out of him this weekend in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. Just killer disc golf for the MP55 defending world champion. Things are looking good for this old boy going into Minnesota here in a few weeks.
Yep, I got to talk to him a little bit on Friday. He was up around Tournament Central after his round at Waterworks, and he's a really nice guy. And for me, and I don't know if he's different with you because you know him better than I do, but he's a humble dude. He's a humble guy, and I'm just like, how'd you shoot? And he was in the lead by a ways, and he shot a good 9 under. He's like, I laid down a pretty good one today. It's just like, he's just a real nice guy, and man, can he still play some disc golf.
Been good for a long, long time.
Yep. Well, I have a few shout outs. Of course, we were in Kansas City, so I want to give a shout out to the crew up there that brought us out. Nexus Disc Golf is who made sure that we were out there. Tournament director, Michael Kruger, MK, awesome. And then Jerry Patterson was out there. He was the course director just for Bad Rock Creek. So thanks to him as well. And all the players we got to film. And so thanks all to the Kansas City crew for that.
And isn't Nexus Disc Golf, is that Pete and JT and then Rich Smith, I think?
Yeah, I only got to meet JT. So he came over after the final round, introduced himself, and yeah, just a really nice guy. There's a few people that came over to me as I was directing. I got to see CD. Speaking of CD, shout out CD for his win. Smitty, he came back from an 8-stroke deficit final day to get the win. He was apparently really disappointed in his performance the 3rd round, but he got it done. He shot +2 out there at Bad Rock. And I think his competitor shot +12 that had the lead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to go, CD.
So yeah, CD. And then so super great people came up and said, hey, loved the channel. So I thought that was cool. The people I didn't even know. And that's always neat.
Yep. Yes, it is. Always fun. So cool. Guess we'll catch everybody after the preserve after I dominate Lucas in weekly picks.
Yeah, I need that to happen because if I win again, I don't know. I may retire. It feels weird up here. Is this what it feels like, Smitty?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you always win. You exactly know.
Right on.
All right. Well, until next week, everyone, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you then. Take care. Bye-bye now.